Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
Welcome all my friends. Thank you very much. Welcome to all my friends, all of our listeners across this great country of ours.
Beautiful
and across
country.
the globe. This is another edition of Focus with Ron Frierson. I am your host, Ron Frierson, along with my co-host over here, Mr. Woody Wilson.
Hello. How you doing, man?
Woody got on the sunglasses. You crazy, boy.
Oh, this light is killing me, man.
Hey.
Plus, I'm trying to be cool. I got my family back east watching tonight. So
Really?
This is how we do it in LA.
So we have to watch our language, I understand.
Yeah.
So everyone, this has been an action-packed week in politics. It's this entire year, this entire political season has been unlike any sort of political season we've seen in my lifetime, consistently, and that's largely due to one man. We're going to talk more about this in length during today's show, but the first thing I want to bring up today, and it's not really along the same lines as our thoughts because this is pretty much last minute, and that was in regards to France catching one of the suspects in the terrorist attacks in Paris. And the reason why that's important is that we have to understand that where France is today is where we could very well see ourselves if we choose to abide by the policies of a Donald Trump or any other politician who would happen to be in power that would practice racist or exclusionary measures, because there's two sides of that coin. One side, there's the oppressor, and then the other side is the oppressed. Now, if you try to isolate a community, then that community at some point will have elements within it that you can't control. All of us, me and everyone I know, we do not condone violence. We think that terrorists are just that. They're terrorists. Their ideology is evil, things of that sort. But if you are poor, if you are isolated, if you feel as if you can grow up in a society and look around you and see everyone else has, and you don't have an opportunity for that, and you don't have a way to do it because of the education system, you know that you are on a track to go towards prison or being jobless and being poor. It's when you have no hope, especially for the youth, that angst and that anger can build. And if it's done to a community, what tends to happen in certain communities that are isolated is that sometimes it can manifest itself by, number one, becoming ultra tribal, and believe it or not, in some cases, violently religious. So when you're ultra tribal, that means that you're already separated socioeconomically because of your lack of opportunity. So that means that you're not able to integrate with the greater society as a whole because you're stuck in your own quote unquote ghetto on your side of town. You're only going to be around people who think like you, look like you, act like you, and they're all stuck in that same stew of poverty, anger, and angst. And then the youth who already tend to rebel against the older people within a community in many respects, or have their own subculture within that. If that subculture somehow takes a slant and looks at things a little bit differently, it's just a perfect storm for conditions that can lead the unstable mind to tend to look at groups like ISIS or tend to become a little more violent. This is how gangs survive here in the United States. Gangs are around because of poverty and oppression. Even the gangs that we romanticize in regards to the old mafia bosses, it was all about money, and it started with the Italians coming over here trying to find a racket so they can make some money because they were isolated out of the economy or shut out of the economy as a whole because they were being discriminated against because they were new immigrants coming in from another country. When you isolate a group of people, they will find a way to survive, and sometimes those ways aren't pretty. And in France, because of Europe and old Europe is old money. They have a caste system that's pretty much set. The great thing about the United States is that we're a country of immigrants, so we always have people in. There, it's not the same. So there, people tend to become segregated, isolated, which tends to lead towards radicalization, and then things like that, or what we've experienced over the last couple of years in this extremism. These things can happen. They shouldn't happen. I'm not saying they will happen, but they can happen. Do not allow us to go down that track by putting someone in office, or America, at least perception-wise, starts to become so ethnophobic, so hate-mongering, so closed-minded that we take a whole group of people saying that Muslims can't do this and Muslims can't do that when they are the same. We are all the same. I'm not going to say they're not the same as we are, because that would still be me saying they. We are all the same, period. So anyway, that rant was kind of a roundabout way of saying, don't vote for Trump.
Don't vote for Trump.
Don't vote for Trump. And yeah, do you have any comments on what I said about that?
I think you were dead on with that. I mean, everyone looks for those that are outside of love and family and don't have the correct influence in their lives will kind of reach out and try to identify with something.
Exactly.
And a lot of times that's a negative influence, whether it's in the inner city or with Trump, for example.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of folks are disgruntled with government and looking for that person that doesn't speak the language of politics, that talks like they do, someone they can identify with, and I get that. I mean, he said some things that I was like, yeah, but he's not the man for the job.
That's what makes him so dangerous, is because he does say some things that make sense.
Right.
I come from Michigan. It's a Rust Belt state, a highly industrial state. Michigan, Ohio, even in some cases Indiana, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Those Rust Belt states were really adversely affected by trade policies like NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. So these types of policies and these trade agreements that have been put in place, we have gotten the bad side of that in many respects. The working class individual that worked in those factories and those plants for General Motors, Chrysler, Ford, or whatever. And so when he speaks to that, because about this one particular area, he's correct, that can somehow make some people feel as if his entire message is correct.
Right. Just
because he said a couple of things and that's what makes it difficult, and not difficult more so than dangerous, because anyone, what they say, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Twice a day.
So what will happen is that some people won't think about the total impact of electing someone with that mindset, because they'll say, well, I agree with him on trade. Well, trade is just one part of the job.
Yeah, but you're not really agreeing with him on anything. He doesn't have any substantive foundations behind his words. I mean, he's just out there.
I see what you're saying.
So they're behind. It's the rhetoric of, we're going to be great again, we're going to build a wall, we're going to get rid of Muslims, and of course, none of that's going to happen.
None of that's.
He's not going to get in office and be able to implement any.
Well,
of those
he
ideas.
won't, but it would be so damaging to us,
to the rest of to the world.
To the world,
everyone's watching us, right?
Everyone's watching us, and just the simple fact that if we as a country elected a person with that sort of mentality as president, that would say a lot about us.
What does it say about us? Yeah,
as well. And then if you think about it, let's just say for whatever reason that there is such a mob mentality that puts him into the White House, and let's just say that he has a Republican Congress that somehow he got to acquiesce and approve the stuff he wanted. and he actually did some of the things that he's talking about doing,
man,
that would take us down to a depth that.
Yeah, well, we did a flash forward of what would happen if a Republican was elected on the last show.
Remind me about it.
Well, you asked me. You said, "What do you think? What do you think?
Exactly.
The country
What
would be in
look
5 years? What would it look like?" And unemployment, not 7, 8, 9%. Rioting in the streets. Obamacare gone. A lot of people rioting because of that.
This is what I love with our show. We haven't even given out the phone number yet, but we already have a caller.
Phones are blowing up.
Let's do it. Okay, caller, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Hi, caller. May I have your name and where you're calling in from, please?
Okay, this is Kathy calling in from Torrance.
Hi, Kathy. How are you? Thank you for calling.
No problem. This is the first time I've got a chance to catch your show because I'm usually inundated in a lot of different things, but one thing, are you still on Donald Trump right now?
Absolutely.
Or what?
We're on whatever you want to be on, Kathy. You tell us. This is your show.
We'll follow your lead.
Well, my whole thing is everybody is talking about this man, and just like Woody said earlier, that he has no substance. How could a man with no substance get so much press?
Yeah. It's ratings, of course. When he speaks, I don't know about you, but when he's on television, I tune in. I want to hear what he has to say because something crazy is going to come out of his mouth. All the gobbledygook he's speaking, and that's ratings. If we're tuning in, the station's making money.
Yeah, exactly, because he's getting more free advertisement than any other candidate ever.
That's
ever.
Right. That's
he
right.
spends less money on airtime, and he receives more free airtime than anybody that I know.
That's right.
And one thing about it, I can't even listen to him because he's talking a bunch of nonsense. He acts like a wannabe wise guy. Sitting, how they sit around and tell stories about different things that happened, and
right.
Who they knocked off and who they did.
Exactly.
And basically, his whole stump speech is about the stories from the last place that he stumped, or talking about something that went on TV. I mean, I listened to him all of 10, 15 minutes, and I was
then
like,
you get a little headache.
I can't hear anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
Kathy,
I got a question for you, Kathy. Do you think
Yes.
that this says something about our culture and our I'm not going to say addiction, but our desire to hear what's the word I'm looking for in regards to celebrities, our love for celebrity and the celebrity culture, because I think that part of it, the sensationalism, the celebrity culture, the fact that he's been on TV, he's more of a celebrity than he is a politician. He, like you said before, he hasn't said anything solid in regards to policy. He never said how he's going to do it, but
exactly,
he's Hollywood, and the media is
Hollywood.
Yeah,
and it's like, it was just like when Arnold ran for governor in California.
Yes.
He had absolutely no substance. He
True.
was an actor, and I couldn't believe that people voted him in office.
They sure did, and he turned us upside down too.
You know what?
Exactly. He said, "I'm going to fix the budget." Yeah, he didn't say how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did
That's
not say
you know
how.
what? That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
And Kathy, thank you. You got to continue to listen, Kathy.
Yeah, thanks for
and
calling
you need
in.
to call in more often because you make great points.
Oh, well, wonderful. I'm Michael's friend. Remember, Ron?
Michael.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Monacore.
Well,
Oh yes.
there you go.
Yes.
Wow. That was,
Yes. Okay. And thank you for calling. Yeah, I knew the voice sounded familiar.
Yeah, because I told you I will listen anytime that I'm able to sit down for 2 minutes to absorb anything. But I did get that information. But I just wanted to call in and say, please stop talking about this man. Because
We're giving him more
what
press,
you're
huh?
doing- Yeah, you're giving him more press. Stop talking about him because he just has nothing.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're seeing. No, basically, what you're seeing in society now is what our educational system has done to the minds of most folks that follow him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And
Yeah,
Kathy,
because it's like everybody has this consensus where they have to follow the crowd, and there's no individualism involved in their thinking and their processing.
Yeah, I think
So
in this
anyway,
case,
guys,
you're right.
you probably have more calls, but anyway.
Thank you.
I'm glad I had a chance to finally listen to both of you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Have a great
No problem.
weekend.
Same to you. Have a good day.
Take care.
That was a good call. And you know what? It goes back to what we said before is the way our education system is going.
Yeah.
What we don't think about when we think of education, guys, we think of, 2+2, going to math class, and and this is all part of it. It's the curriculum. That's all part of it. But part of education is to learn about yourself and how you fit into society, to help build your esteem, to build a certain caliber of citizen. That's why in many other repressive countries, they don't allow women to be educated.
Yeah.
Or
it's about the exposure to other things.
And if you've ever been around anyone with generational wealth, let's say, and I know people with generational wealth where they have money and they've had it for generations to come.
Right.
One of the biggest things that they stress is education. They're always sending their kids off to the best schools, trying to get them in the best schools, like frantically so, because they understand how important an education is in regards to how that kid views himself and how the world will view him, how he's able to think in certain respects. And remember, kids are at school in many respects longer than they are at home during a given day, during the school year. And so the entire environment of how they deal with others, how they deal with peers, how they deal with authority that's not related to them, how they deal with the world itself. It starts with the school. It helps to raise citizens.
Well,
so if the school system is screwed up and you're a kid, then there's a good chance, it's not set in stone, but there's a good chance that as an adult, you're going to be somehow deficient in certain respects.
I see it as, at home, you've got parents at home who teach their children, prejudice or ignorance, right? So education in terms of books is different from the ignorance one has not being exposed to other cultures and understanding other people.
That's a good point, because I remember we spoke about it a week or two ago when we spoke about what's great about our culture and bringing in our culture, but then also learning to purge and evolve beyond that in our culture that needs to be left in the past. So what I said in regards to African Americans, we have a proud culture, we have a proud history, but then there's certain things about our culture that we need to leave in the past. And like I said, like our chitlins. Diet, chitlins and all that kind of stuff that's obviously bad for our health, which we had to eat at some point in history because of our conditions that we were in. But once we're able to do better and learn that these dietary habits have led to higher propensities towards hypertension and heart disease and all that stuff, then we should go away from that because we know better now. We're able to do better. And every culture has something in its effect that needs to take place. So be proud if you are whatever culture, be proud of those things to be proud of. But the bad part, if part of your culture's chitlin, so to speak, which is unhealthy, is for you to carry some sort of racist attitudes. Right. You need to purge that.
Yeah, you got to purge yourself.
That's yesterday.
And force yourself into situations you're uncomfortable with, and that's other people. I take, for example, when I moved out to California, I've lived, Boston, Delaware, Houston, came out to California, and before you went out that night, I was young in my 20s, you'd go out to a club or whatever, and they'd say, after I work out, after I come from the gym, we'll go out. Yeah. And so you start to hear that language, and it's a different culture in the sense that, okay, well, I've got to adapt. I got to be sexy, get my sexy on too. I got to work out and eat right. And, places like Sweet Greens are popping up all over Los Angeles. People are more healthy.
Right before I got here.
So did I. You went to this one here? No, I went to the one.
I went to the one
I didn't
across
realize
the street
this one was
Sunset.
here. Okay, I just saw that today. So I adapted, and people have to adapt. And if you find yourself in a cloud, if everyone around you is spewing negative energy, it's up to you to sit back in the dark and ask yourself a few questions. That is, why am I this way? Are there things outside? Why is the rest of the world happy intermingling with other folks and living their lives unobstructed by prejudice? Because it's hate. And
Exactly.
if you're hating, it's eating you up on the inside, and it's not good for you from a health position, and you just need to get out there.
But you know what? Some of it is
and
so
learn.
cultural.
Yeah.
And it's so embedded in who they are, like in some pockets in our country,
Mississippi.
you know, but there's some good people in Mississippi
There's some very
too.
good
I
people,
went to,
but there's some. Don't take the wrong turn.
I went to
End up in the
Economic
woods.
Development Institute at the University of Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It was my first time ever in Mississippi, and let me tell you, those were some of the nicest people. But they know when you're not from there,
right? I'm talking about the people that aren't nice people in Mississippi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's weird. I don't know what it is, and I hate to speculate, but even in the South, the people in the South knew. They look at me like I'm an alien, like I'm not from the South.
You look like a movie star.
Whatever. And then white and black.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's a little bit different. But at the same time, all that being said, I do know that some of them are it's been part of who they are for so long that they not hating because they hate just because they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Not, you just don't do that. You know,
Yeah.
you don't go over there because that's just not what we do. It's just who we are.
Right.
And I don't know how we break that in those types of pockets, or whether or not it's even possible.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, you know,
they have to want to change in order to change it. You know.
Well, as long as it's not, which I don't see how it couldn't be the case, how it wouldn't be the case, I should say. As long as you're not actively oppressing one group, like, so that means that if you were in a position of power and you aren't looking at certain applicants for a job because of their ethnicity or whatever, nationality, sexual orientation, whatever it is, you know, there's ways around you not purposefully discriminating. So meaning this is that if someone walked in and you see them as a black person and say, no, I don't want to hire that person because they're black, that's easy to say, okay, that was discrimination.
Right.
But what's harder is that if they don't even get the interview in the first place, because you can look at the job application and your name is Tyrone, and it's okay, no, I'm not even going to call Tyrone in.
Yeah.
So when it gets to that point, that's when I think things need to change.
Yeah.
And they absolutely do need to change. And they have changed. I mean,
it's changed.
So
There's a long way to go, but
there's a long way to go in pockets. But at the same time, what puts stress on the system is when you have someone like a Donald Trump that's been thrust into the forefront and almost a caller. I have a caller calling in. Just a second, though, caller. Let me finish this point. When you have someone like a Donald Trump who is spewing out this garbage, and it makes it seem as if those people with that sort of uninvolved mind have some sort of legitimacy.
Oh, he's raising the ignorance flag, definitely.
He's raising the ignorance flag, but some people, it's like, okay, it's okay for me to think like that. It's okay for me to have a
They
closed
found a home.
mind.
It's like a gang, like you said.
Exactly. So call him. Thank you for holding. May I have your name and where you're calling in from?
It's Michael from Santa Monica.
Michael from Santa
Michael,
Monica, one of our favorite
on?
callers. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Woody? How are you, Ron?
Fantastic.
We're
How's
doing
the
well.
weather in Santa Monica? Is the marine layer gone?
The marine layer is beginning to seep in, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Visibility is only about 5 miles.
Oh, wow. That sounds
What's
beautiful.
going on, Mike? What do you have for us today?
I don't know. I didn't get all your rant today, so hopefully I'm not going to be reiterating some of the stuff you talked about. But listen, though, who do you think Hillary's going to pick for a VP?
Whew.
That's a tough question. I would love for it to be Bernie Sanders, but
That won't happen.
they've been dogging each other out.
See,
so
that won't
that's
happen.
Let me
I
tell
know
you
that's
about my
not gonna
thoughts
happen.
on this. Okay, I've thought about this a little bit. I was thinking like it won't be Bernie, and I was thinking, well, would it be Elizabeth Warren? But then it'd be 2 women on the ticket, and I don't know whether or not that would come into play or not. It shouldn't matter, but we don't know
how
whether
the
or not
world
that
is
seems.
today.
And then I was thinking about John Kerry, but he's been a nominee before, so him coming back, I don't know.
Right.
And so I thought about Michael Bloomberg. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if he fits into the political scene.
Well,
I don't know why you get people from New York. I think that's, I don't know, getting 2 people from New York. I think that it looks.
Do you have any
I don't know,
suggestions?
maybe-
yeah. Who do you think, Mike? Who do you think?
I really don't know, but I think it's important for her to get some diversity. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she should probably choose a male, and but I think she's got to get someone geographically, perhaps someone on the West or maybe in the Midwest. But I just find it's an interesting thought, who she's going to get. Because I really do think she's probably going to win, get the ticket, get the nomination, and I think she's going to be president.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting who is going to be,
because
the vice president.
The objective
because,
is to strengthen her position, right?
And
So
would it be a legislator or what? Someone that's currently in Congress? I'm trying to think of who in Congress right now has the type of profile that can add to the ticket and also kind of smoothing out her rough edges.
Right.
You know how she has this likability deficit, and someone who
man, she reminds me of my mom when she used to lecture me. And a Jewish mother too, man.
Hey, what about Gavin Newsom?
Gavin Newsom from San Francisco?
Yeah.
I don't know how strong his.
He's a lieutenant governor
repertoire
here, and Larry Brown's too old, and he's coming from a big state. But she's going to win California.
He's young, and
yeah,
and could attract some younger voters.
So
that may not be a bad look.
That's a good point. I'm not sure.
We can pontificate on this all day, but
yeah, I'm not sure. I bet her people are really going through some exercises trying to find out, because whoever she picks has to be someone that compliments her, doesn't overshadow her, but at the same time is a lot more likable than she is, that can kind of smooth out the edges.
Not that she's not likable.
I mean, the perception of being likable.
Yeah.
Ron, what do you think it would take for her not to get the nomination?
The only thing that will keep her from getting the nomination is if some scandal actually has some validity. But I don't see that being the case. I don't think that this Benghazi thing, this whole email thing, as inappropriate as it was, it doesn't rise to the level of something that's going to disqualify her. That, or if Bernie just wins, because less than half of the delegates the earned delegates have been accounted for. So, and it's the super delegate portion that she has that have already committed. Tacitly committed, but have committed. That's what gives her such a wide lead. But the earned delegates, they're not that much different in their numbers. I don't even know what I just said.
Different. I'll write that
one
down.
You want to say it again, Ron?
If I had said that, he would have gave me such a hard time.
I know. I need to say it slowly. I caught a cramp in my tongue.
Different.
But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
So if Bernie wins the rest of the caucus and primary states from here on out, which
he'll be in good shape, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Then when I say win, because I think most of them are proportional. Not many of them is win or take all anymore.
No,
so it's proportional.
It would be a brokered convention.
If that happens and he has momentum, and then the super delegates start to go over to Bernie's side. Mm-hmm. But it's a long shot.
That's a lot. That's a Hollywood story.
But I do know who Bernie would choose.
Who's that?
Bernie would choose Elizabeth Warren all day.
Most likely.
All day.
You actually said that?
No, but everybody, that's a marriage made in heaven. They're like two sides of the same coin. That's yeah. And one of the first people that Hillary is going to ask to endorse her, along with Bernie, of course, is Elizabeth Warren. Right now, on the progressive side, which it seems like the Republican side has gone more to the right, the Democratic side has gone more to the left because of Bernie pulling Hillary to the left. You even have Hillary talking about student loans and talking about free college and all this stuff. She's not committing to it, but she's saying making it more affordable and all that type of stuff.
Right.
Both of the parties are being pulled.
That's a great thing about the process.
Yeah. So, but because of that, then Elizabeth Warren, who is a hero amongst the progressive movement, whoever she decides to endorse, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. I'm ready to get down to the nitty gritty here, so we'll just we'll just wait and see.
And another kind of a little bit off topic, so a little bit politically one. Yeah. Maybe you know the details, Ron, because I'm working real hard and you're in the political jungle as you are.
Mm-hmm.
What's
that's racist.
You know that incident in North Korea where the student from Virginia?
Oh yeah, he got 50 years.
15.
15.
It's absolutely an incredible story.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what was this kid on a trip? What I understand from his university, and they went to North Korea, and he stole, I guess, a flag or a pennant that was outside of a North Korean hotel, and got arrested, and
got 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it is North Korea, so.
Yeah, I mean, of all the places, I mean,
you have to understand
that's
you can't
harsh
steal anything.
And, that's harsh and unusual and is uncalled for, and hopefully we can get him out.
Yeah.
But if it were my kid, I'd do my damnedest to get him out, and then once he got out, I'd kick his ass. Now, what the hell were you doing going to North Korea trying to steal a flag? Of all the places,
so
it's like going.
Just as responsible as he, man. They let him go. I mean, who paid the tab for that?
Yeah, it's like going to Saudi Arabia and decide you want to shoplift.
Yeah.
You know they're going to cut off your hand. What are you doing?
And he's going to be there for a while because there's no trade. There's nothing that is in a position to try to negotiate his release. I mean, unless we capture
hopefully they'll just do something like they used to do in Indonesia and give him a thrashing.
We'll give him Dennis Rodman if he sends.
Maybe we'll trade him for Dennis Rodman. Right. Yeah, and but yeah, that's very unfortunate, and I feel bad for him and for his family.
Yeah, no,
and hopefully, because that makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. But what about North Korea makes sense? There's nothing that makes sense about North Korea.
Kim Jong-un.
I mean, that's, there are few countries in the whole world that are such staunch communist countries with dictatorships, and it's very, very scary that there's still in today's world countries just like that. And but I guess it's just not North Korea. There are places in Africa and other parts of the world where.
Yeah, but not many of those other places have nuclear capabilities. North Korea has nuclear capabilities. They have a megalomaniac for a dictator, and I guess it's a dominant gene in that family because it goes back to his grandfather. One of the most isolated and closed off cultures and countries on the planet.
And that goes to that ignorance we were talking about.
Goes
the
back
family
to
is just,
and that's the place you choose to go and steal something. It just doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. So I don't know if are the charges true or are they trumped up charges because they thought he was actually a spy or something like that?
Well, I think that's the propaganda that North Korea is saying to make them sound like they're not a bad country and that this is all done covertly by our CIA, which. I don't think there's any.
Well, the truth is, we'll never really know.
Yeah, they've always
that is the truth.
Use propaganda to their advantage when a mistake is made or something domestically goes across their borders. Wasn't that Elizabeth Ling, who was a journalist who I think got in the wrong hands, and she was in Clinton have to get her out.
Yeah, Bill.
And I think they used propaganda that she was doing something illegal, but
that was Lisa Ling's sister, right?
Yeah,
the journalist. Yeah,
and she had a lot of influence.
Well, Mike, it's always a pleasure to have you
calling
into
Mike.
the show, Mike.
Hey, you're welcome, Woody, Ronnie. Have a good weekend and catch some basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, and Michigan State lost.
I know. Can you believe that?
Still going. I know it's true to your heart. Who do you like, Woody?
Michigan.
Michigan.
They're gone. No, I like Connecticut. I like Connecticut.
All things Michigan are good.
Yeah.
The best people you ever meet are from Michigan. Remember that, both of you guys.
I'm pulling for Connecticut at this point.
I hear a Michigan accent in that voice.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm drinking clean water. But thanks a lot for calling, Mike. Have a great weekend.
Take care, Mike.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
All right, you
Talk
too.
To you later. Bye-bye.
Before we get back into the second part of the show, before I get started, I need to throw out a shout out to my primary sponsor, Zhivago watches.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Right. I'm going to take it off and
Those
show you
watches
guys.
And put it on my wrist, man.
You
it matches what I have on.
What can I say about that? Woo.
Very nice.
Can you say that, Sissy? Woo.
Woo?
Yeah, you got to say it like that. Yeah, Zhivago watches.
Yes.
They are fine timepieces. They're pretty expensive. You should go to their website, and I think the website is given at the bottom of the screen. www.zhivagowatches.com. Again, www.zhivagowatches.com. They have a fantastic variety of watches and styles and colors in men's and women's fashions. If you go to the website see the style that you like, and then go to Amazon and shop for it. You can usually get it at a discount.
Save
if
yourself
you
a
go
little
to
money.
Save you a little money. I mean, a watch that goes from anywhere from $800 to $3,000-$4,000. If you can get it for closer to $800 or maybe a little bit less at Amazon,
That's not bad considering the quality of that watch. That's
exactly.
gorgeous.
Also, guys, the phone number, if you want to call in with questions or comments, we have some regular callers like Mike from Santa Monica, which we enjoy. We have my brother Jaway Francis, who calls in all the time from his commute back and forth to the office.
I want to get some Facebook shout outs too. We've got some great new Facebook.
I want to give this phone number, and then that's a good point. Then I want you to give some Facebook shout outs.
Yes.
So the phone number, if you want to call us, is area code 323-843-2826. Again, 323-843-2826. And if you want to email me, you can email me at ronnie.frierson@gmail.com. And the subject line is focus, so I know what you're emailing me about. Yeah. So the Facebook shout-outs. Go ahead, Woody.
All right, so I want to shout out to Nakeem Huggins. He just joined us on Facebook. Thanks, man, for all your support.
No, that's a female.
Okay. Young lady, thank you, Nakeem. I just have the names here.
That's
I can't.
Female,
there's no face with
yeah.
Robert Betts. Rob
Betts.
Betts.
Lovely young lady.
Rob Betts. Is that a female or a male? That's a male. I know Rob Betts.
Yeah.
Michael Nesby and Toy Crawford. So those are some new members I just listed today. So thank you for supporting us on Facebook. Everybody check out Focus with Ron Frierson on Facebook.
Yeah, and check out our YouTube channel too. We have a channel on YouTube where you can see all the past shows with me and Woody up here talking stuff.
Making me look like a ghost. I don't know why I'm so light on this camera. I'm light-skinned, but I look almost clear. That's why I have these shades. I'm trying to add a little color to my face here.
I need to put them on because you're so bright.
But I think
glare
the contrast
when I look
isn't
at. No, it's you really are
lighten me
just.
up. I'm going to get a tan, though, this summer. Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
You want to do word to your mother?
Yeah, let's do word to your mother.
Word to your mother. All right, fantastic. For those of you that don't know,
get myself together.
Ron is quite the wordsmith. So I always test him out every show and just give him 5 words and see if he could get the meaning. And so we're going to kick that off, Jarvis.
Yeah. Word to your mother.
Word to your mother. All right, here we go. Gobbledygook.
You just said that earlier.
I did say that, didn't I?
That's like nonsense.
All right, there you go. Boom. That's it. I gave you that
Word to
one.
your mother.
That kind of just handed you that one. All right, let's go with whimsy.
Whimsy.
Whimsy. WHIMSY. Whimsy.
Whimsy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking whimsical, but whimsy. WH.
IMSY. Whimsy.
I have no clue. What is that?
A trait of acting unpredictable.
Man, let me.
Hey, man, you said you didn't know. So that's
Jarvis all quick on the buzzer.
He's quick with
stuff,
that
man.
too, wasn't he? Okay, I gotta take my time on this next one. I don't want to do a Ron today.
I know, huh? I did mess that up, and I knew what I wanted to say. Is that how it feels, Woody? When you always mess up words, you know what you want to say.
I only did one time. I experienced that one time.
That synapse. Okay.
That's
all right. What
totally
is
out of character.
What's the word?
Okay. Plenipotentiary. Plenipotentiary. PLENIPOTE.
Oh, plenipotentiary.
That's it. Plenipotentiary. Did I say that? Jarvis, did I say that? Why
do you choose the words you can't pronounce?
Plenipotentiary.
So I gotta not only know the name of the word, I have to know the pronunciation, and I gotta give you a speech therapy session the whole time.
Plenipotentiary.
That's just plenipotentiary. I know what that is because I act as a plenipotentiary sometimes with what I do.
With your family?
With my clients.
Okay.
I have clients that are sometimes government clients or company clients, and you have to be able to speak on behalf of your clients.
Right.
So it's like you have been given almost like a
diplomat.
almost like power of attorney, but verbally or to make a decision or to speak on behalf of your client, and usually that client is a company or government.
Hey man, I'm just asking for the definition. I'm not trying.
I'm explaining it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. Okay, a diplomat.
Okay. Word to your mother.
Yeah.
All right, word to your mother.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Legerdemain. LEGERDEMAIN.
You can spell that 6 different times. I have no idea what you talk. Say it again.
LEGER.
LEGER.
Like
Legger. Okay.
DEMAIN.
That sounds like a hood name or something.
Legerdemain.
That's like a hood name. Legerdemain.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
No clue?
What is that? Is that a real
Dang,
word?
bro, you're usually on point. What's going on today?
I don't know, man.
You didn't have your 5-hour energy?
No, I need 8.
Skillful use of one's hands.
That's what legerdemain means?
Yeah. I know a girl in high school who was legerdemain.
Oh, you had to reach back to high school.
Well, you know.
I know.
That was a long time ago.
I know it was. Hey, you gonna get yourself in trouble, boy.
Man, high school. I did say high school. Okay?
Oh,
Jeez.
Woody. Okay, all right.
Her
bro.
name was Beyonce. Okay, next word. Estivation. Estivation.
Estivation. I know that's what some lizards like frogs do. It's almost like they get into like a hibernation.
Right, dormancy.
But they're not really asleep though. They just being still because if it gets too cold.
Right.
You know I got to explain it to you, right?
No,
That's how I
dude.
give my definition because
Okay.
I know what it means, so I got to show you I know what it means.
Keep on going.
So they give it's like they're going into a hibernation, but it's not because they're cold, but it's like maybe because it's too dry or something like
Right.
that, and they need moisture. Okay, there
Well,
you go.
yeah, I guess so.
Word to your mother.
We'll get that one.
Word to your mother.
All right, not bad. What was that? 2 out of 5? Good job, man.
I think I did better than 2 out of
I
10.
think you guys need to clap for him, man. He did a good job today. Give him a round of applause.
I
out
think
there.
I don't know. I think it was what's 3 out of 5, right?
Okay, I'll give you that. Was
Thank
that 3, Jarvis? All right, 3 out of 5. There you go.
I like to thank my parents for having me.
Don't thank the Academy because they wouldn't give you nothing.
No, they wouldn't with them. All right, so let's talk about what's happened this week. So Rubio, which I knew he would, he dropped out, which he should have dropped out. He was not ready, and I guess he was so
He
dejected.
was ready.
Not for president though.
Well,
he was so dejected and so depressed that he's decided, at least right now, this is like talking to somebody right after you lost a big game too. He's saying that he's gonna finish out his term and then go off into the private sector. He's gonna be done with public life.
He should be. He should be very disappointed.
I don't wanna
because
say
he lost
that.
Florida. I mean, he won Miami.
He
Miami,
lost his own
Dade
state.
County.
You know what?
His own
you just
state.
told me something. You just exposed something to me.
What's that?
The fact that he lost his home state
Shameful.
by such a margin makes him feel
Defeated.
less confident that he will be able to win
Anything.
if he win a re-election if he ran
Right.
for the Senate again.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he said he's going to finish out his term and not run again.
Right.
Because I know if I were looking at perhaps becoming a senator in the state of Florida, I'd be like, he has a weak seat. He's
Exactly.
weak in that seat. He can be beaten.
Yes,
And
he
so I
can.
would go after him because he's proven
vulnerable.
he can't even carry his own state. So people within his own state. And then if I had to campaign against him, I would say,
You can't
look,
even win your own state.
I would say that, and I will also bring up the fact that he was never really working for the state. He spent half his time trying to run for president.
Yeah.
I would bring up that debate again where he just totally
he's got so much. But you know what? When when this process first began, I was afraid of Rubio. I was like, he's the one candidate that could give Hillary Clinton a run for her money.
I don't know why.
This
why
was
did
in the
you think
beginning.
that? Why did you think that?
Because he was kind of groomed to run against her. I mean, he was the Republican Party's hope. And when they threw Trump in there and this whole fiasco that's going on, and he couldn't compete. Then he got down on his level and really kind of showed his ass. But Rubio was the one potential competition for her. I mean, not now, of course, but
I got another call coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, caller. Thank you for calling into the show. May I have your name and the city you're calling in from, please?
It's Kay. I'm calling from Indianapolis. I'm the one they just called Nakeem.
All right, Kay.
There you go. What's going on, Kay? How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. You notice how I
You should see
corrected
the
him,
smile on his face, Kay.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Nakeem is just a piece of my name. I kind of tricked Facebook to keep stalkers from finding me because my name is so unique.
But
Oh.
it didn't
full
work,
name is
did it?
actually
What he
it's
found you?
Nakimali.
Tell me about the stalkers.
And
What's going
I'm an
on with you,
artist.
Kay?
I sing, and I've had some issues. So
Oh, okay.
I go by the alias K Hugs to keep people from finding my true identity and showing up at my house and things of that
Damn.
sort.
you
Oh,
must
they
be
showing up
fine.
at the house?
Gee whiz.
No one has done that yet, but I've had people sneak up on stage, and I've had
Like they
other
did Donald Trump?
odd things happen.
Okay.
Well, thank you for
I
calling
just try
in.
to
All right. So we'll keep you on the down
from
low.
being stalked.
We won't put you on blast.
Yeah, we won't put you on blast.
No, that's okay.
So what's going on with you
No,
today, Miss Huggins?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to call in and tell you guys that I do really appreciate the show. I'm a
Thank you.
pretty busy person, and I'm not always able to look at the news or listen to debates, and even the media. It's just, for me, it's bad news, and it's just politics. And when I listen to you guys, for me, it's a true account of, for me, two black men giving their ideas and being inclusive of all races. And what I wanted to ask is, what do you think we could do to keep Trump out of office? We went to the voting polls with virility to get Obama in, and I would like to see us do the same thing to keep Trump out, because he is soliciting hate, and I do not like that.
And I think you just hit the nail on the head.
Exactly. I think you answered your question during the sentence. We have to just be sure to get out and vote for his opposition, to be sure that whether it's Hillary or Bernie, just to be sure, because I think as a whole, there are more Democrats in our country than there are Republicans.
I believe that.
The Republican party has been relegated for the most part to rural and southern states. And so, but because of the delegate count in the bigger states, its turnout is going to have to be huge. So to be sure that those swing states like Ohio and Florida go Democratic, it all depends on turnout, because the delegate count, the electoral college count, I should say, the electoral vote really matters. So if we do that, then we won't have to worry about President Trump. But we got to do it. And I think that what the Republicans are counting on, Ms. Huggins, is they're counting on all of this fascination with Donald Trump translating into votes for Trump. Well, not Trump, but for the Republican Party. Let's say all of the excitement, because right now the Republican primaries are must-see TV because they got so much drama going on over there.
Great.
And so they're going to have a big turnout because people are paying attention. And so because of that big turnout, they're hoping that this is going to translate into more people turning out at the polls to vote Republican in the fall, which I don't think is going to happen. But just in case they're on to something, we just need to be sure that we turn out as well.
Exactly. And the same virility that we did for President Obama.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it make a difference whether it's Bernie or Hillary that we voted for? Like, if we swing towards one or the other, does that increase his chances in any way, or is it just as long as it's not Trump?
No, as long as it's not Trump, but I think Hillary has a better chance of drawing more voters out.
Once it gets to the general, once the primary is done, it's either going to be Bernie or Hillary that comes through the primary process and becomes the Democratic nominee on that side of the ticket. And then the same thing has to happen on the Republican side of the ticket. It's either going to be Kasich, Trump, or Cruz. So, but once it boils down to those two last general election candidates, then that's where it matters. And so whether or not it's Trump against Bernie or Trump against Hillary, the point is that on that Democratic side, we have to vote for that person. And especially if it's Bernie, if for whatever reason it's Bernie, it's going to be really important to vote Democratic completely down the ticket too. So that means not just for the president, but they have all these other positions that you vote for when you vote for president. Congressmen and the senators and all that stuff. Whoever's up for election that's on the Democratic side, for the most part, that's who you need to go for.
That's who you need to vote for.
Because
do a straight Democratic
ticket. Yeah. But
because if you don't, that's the only way they can get stuff passed.
But I tell you what, I think the Republicans are going to do the job for us. I think at this brokered convention, which it looks like is going to happen, that they are not going to bring forth Donald Trump as the nominee. And that's going to, and Donald Trump is already, suggesting that there'll be some rioting that happens as a result of that. But I think the Republican Party is going to take care of that and really push him to the side. I'm praying for that anyway.
Well, if
then we
that
don't have
happens,
to worry about it.
then the Republican Party will have a split. Because what they will be saying is that they'll be telling the people.
But these are the rules. This is okay to happen. They're not recreating the rules.
Okay, let's put it like this. Let's just say the people. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Huggins. Thank you for
No,
calling.
I'm listening.
Okay. If they go to a broker convention and tell the people, let's say Donald Trump has the majority of the delegates,
which he most likely will.
He will have the majority of the delegates, and no one else is close, but yet he doesn't have enough to seal the deal.
Right.
But he has the majority, and he's closest to that point, closer than anybody else, closer than Ted Cruz, closer than Kasich.
Yeah.
But the party says, you know what? Even though you have all these votes, you still don't reach the threshold. We're going to say that all of your delegates and all the people that voted for you don't count. We're going to choose who we want.
Ted Cruz. That's
because
who they want.
if they do that, there will be a revolt in the Republican Party, because they will essentially be saying to the Republican voters, we don't care who you guys wanted. You guys chose wrong. We're going to pick for you. You chose Kasich third place, way out of the way, but we're going to choose him instead.
And let's hope they go vote for Hillary or Bernie.
Yeah.
As a result.
And so if that happens, there will be a splinter. I doubt it. Trump will start. Yeah.
It'll be a third splinter.
But we need a good Republican Party. We need that.
Yeah.
I'm a Democrat, and I'm more liberal, but I think we need a good, solid Republican Party.
We need a good opposition that brings the issues to the table.
Because if we just have where the Democrats can just know they're going to win all the time without them fighting for our votes, then what happens is like that famous saying that absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right.
You need that check and balance to keep you honest.
You're right.
Or else there's going to be stuff going on, and it's going to be one party rule, and that's never a good thing in politics. Right. You need to have a good, solid Republican Party. So whatever they need to do to get that Trumpism stuff out of there, fine, do it. To purge themselves and come back to a point where they can be proud of that party and make it a national party rather than just a rural and southern party, to have something wherein they're not just expressing interest in helping out, a certain segment of the population, and think everybody else has to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, but at the same time they're setting the conditions that only those people that are successful will remain successful.
Right.
You know what? I'm about to run out of time. Ms. Huggins,
thank you, Ms. Huggins.
Thank you so much for calling in. And I'm sorry I just preached to you a little bit, but we really appreciate it. You need to call in more often, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Okay, we got we have a couple of minutes left. Looks like 2 or 3 minutes left. Time goes by fast.
Yeah, I want to welcome back Tony. Welcome back, Tony.
Yeah, welcome back, Tony Sweet.
Big Tony.
He's the owner of Universal Broadcasting Network.
Yes.
And he was out for a while, but now he's back. Welcome back, Tony.
Welcome back. Everything's running smoothly now.
Everything's running smoothly.
There's a few bumps
now.
in the road while you're gone, but we're all good.
Yeah, and we got to give a shout out to our producer extraordinaire, Jarvis.
Jarvis in the house.
The X-Files, you know what I'm saying?
Couldn't happen without him.
They're out there. They're still out there. The secrets of their silver.
Don't get him started, man. Do not get Jarvis started.
Ooh, Jarvis sent me off about 12
bling,
YouTube videos with all conspiracy theories.
Yeah, phone was blowing up.
Just blowing up. And I couldn't even sleep after watching some of that stuff. There's stuff going on out there we don't even know about.
You can't think about all that, man.
Can't do it.
Got one thing at a time. I'm just trying to pay bills. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Thinking about all that.
Well, listen, guys. Again, if you guys have any comments or questions about the show, feel free to hit us up on Facebook, Focus with Ron Frierson. Go back to YouTube and look at any of our past shows on our YouTube channel and Focus with Ron Frierson. If you have questions and specific comments, again, hit us up on Facebook, or you can email me at ronnie.frierson@gmail.com. In the subject line, put Focus and let me know what you would like us to consider.
And watch the show live on ubn.com, channel 2, Focus with Ron Frierson.
Yeah,
you can watch us right now. We're on air.
Exactly.
And also YouTube. You can catch up on all the shows on YouTube.
Exactly. Fridays at 5 o'clock Pacific time. So thank you for beginning your weekend with us. We're always glad to be here for you and be here with you. And we look forward to talking to you again next week. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Signing out. Focus with Ron Frierson.
Love, happiness.